Hello, dear students. Myself, Dr. Ankush Srivastav, Associate Professor, Faculty of Juridical Sciences, Rama University, Kanpur. Today's topic is on company law. We discuss about introduction to incorporation. First part, definition of company. What is company? A company is a corporation, an artificial person created by law. So, an artificial person created by law is called a company. Next, a human being is a natural person, but a company which incorporated is a legal person. A company thus has legal rights and obligations in the same way that a natural person does. Now, I come on the second topic, that the difference between companies and partnership are as follows. What is the difference between company and partnership? So, these are the points in which I deal about the differences. First, a company can be created only by certain prescribed methods, that is most commonly used by registration under the Companies Act. In other part, the partnership, a partnership is created by the express or implied agreement of the parties and requires no formalities, though it is common to have a written agreement. If it have a written agreement, then that will be called a partnership also, but it may be express or implied agreement. Second difference on company, second difference between company and partnership, a company incurs greater expenses at formation and cannot be dissolved. In other part, a partnership can be run throughout its life and it may be dissolved. So, main difference is a company cannot be dissolved and a partnership may be dissolved. And the third difference, a company is an artificial legal person. A company is an artificial legal person distinct from its members. That is also called, a company is a separate legal entity, where a partnership has no such type of characteristics. This is much more limited than the personality conferred by companies. Fourth difference, a company can have as little as one member and there is no upper limit on membership. But in partnership, a partnership must have at least 2 members and has an upper limit of 20 with some exceptions. Next, a member of a company who is not also director is not regarded as an agent of the company and cannot bind the company by his actions, where a partner in a firm is an agent of firm which will be bound by his acts. The next difference is as follows. Now, I come on the sixth difference between company and partnership. Members of a company are not entitled to take part in the management of the company unless they are also directors of the company, where in partnership every partner is entitled to take part in the management of the partnership business unless the partnership agreement provides otherwise. Now, next difference, in company, shares in a company are normally transferable, must be so in a public company, and in partnership a partner cannot transfer his share of the partnership without the consent of all other partners. Next, the liability of a member of a company for the debts and obligations of the company may be limited, where in partnership a partner in an ordinary partnership can be made liable without limit for the debts and obligations of the firm. Now, come on the next difference. In company, the powers and duties of a company and those who run it are closely regulated by the Companies Act and by its own constitution as contained in the memorandum and the articles of association of a company, where in partnership partners have more freedom to alter the nature of their business by agreement and without formality, and to make their own arrangements as to manner in which the firm will run. So, I come on the next difference between company and partnership. A company must comply with the formalities regarding keeping registers and auditing of accounts, where in partnership this is not applicable in case of partnership. So, auditing of accounts and keeping of registers are not necessary in the case of partnership, where it is necessary in case of companies. The next difference, the affairs of a company are subject to more publicity. A company's affairs need more publicity, where in partnership a partnership does not need such type of affairs. And the next difference, a company can create a security over its assets, that is called a floating charges, which permits it to raise funds without impeding its ability to deal with its assets. So, company can create a security over its assets, that is called floating charges, which is necessary to raise the fund in market. But in partnership, a partnership cannot create a floating charges. In a partnership, the partners can manage their funds by sharing of money. Now we come on the next difference. If a company owes debt to any of its shareholders, they can claim payment for its assets ratably with its other creditors. So, shareholder can claim their payment to the company. And the next difference, a partner who is owed money by the partnership cannot claim payment in competition with other creditors. So, the other creditors can claim on a partnership firm, but a partner cannot claim on the partnership firm. Now, I come on the next difference, that is a company cannot normally be wound up on the will of a single member, and the death, bankruptcy or insanity of a member. So, a company cannot normally wound up on the will of any member, single member, and the death or insanity of a member. But in case of partnership, a partnership can be dissolved by any partner by will, or it can be dissolved by death or insanity or insolvency of any partner. So, dear friends, I finish this topic and thank you. Now, I come on the topic, the types of company. A company can be formed in a number of ways, which are given as follows. This chart, formation of a company. First, by royal charter. A company which is formed by a royal charter, that is called chartered company. It is formed by grant of a charter by the crown. For example, all of us knows about East India Company. Second type of formation of a company, by act of parliament. A company which is formed by the act of parliament, that is statutory companies. It is formed by private act of parliament, formerly used to incorporate public utilities such as gas, railways, and electricity, etc. In connection to this, the privatized public utilities have been incorporated as registered companies. Now, the third form of the formation of a company is by registration. That is a company which is formed by the registration, that company is called registered company. It is formed by registration under the Companies Act. Now, I come on the topic, the classification of registered companies. Here a chart shows that the types of classification about the registered company. There are three types, three classification of a company. First, unlimited companies. Unlimited companies are those companies where members have unlimited liabilities. It cannot be public companies. It can be set up with or without share capital. An unlimited company do not normally have to file annual account. And the second is companies limited by guarantee. As the name, the companies limited by guarantee shows that the members of the companies, that is the director or shareholders, have limited liabilities. And the third classification of a registered company, that is a companies limited by shares. These classification has two types. First, public company, and the second, private company. Now, I come on the topic, what is public company? A public company, it must be stated in the memorandum of that company, that is, it is a public company. And the second ingredient is must have at least 2 shareholders and 2 directors in a public company.